If you enjoy listening to music, going to local music festivals, have you ever tried to attend a music festival and listen to music for 21 hours a day? If you love camping and outdoor activities, have you tried camping in Japan with over 10,000 people for 5 days and 4 nights? If you haven't tried it yet, then keep reading. In this episode, I would like to introduce you to the Fuji Rock Music Festival, known as the most orderly and cleanest Japanese music festival in the world. Fuji Rock Music Festival is one of the largest music festivals in Japan. This music festival was first held in 1997 under Mount Fuji, hence the name was named after it. After years, Fuji Rock is held every year at the end of July at Naiba in Niigata Prefecture. Fuji Rock attracts performing groups from all over the world every year, with previous performances such as Bob Dylan, Jason Mraz, and many more. Fuji Rock can take 3.5 days, including the kickoff festival at night. If you want to enjoy the entire Fuji Rock, you need around 5 whole days. Of course, you can also go for 1 to 2 days. Speaking of which, is it expensive? Well, like many festivals, the earlier you buy the ticket, the cheaper. In addition, the festival offers many passes, including a 3-day pass. Attendees can also purchase tickets through the official website or authorized ticket channels. We have 3 people this time and bought 3-day passes through Ticket Flap, which includes the first night rock music kickoff festival and 3-day music festival. Some of you may doubt, wow, over 4,000 Hong Kong dollars just to attend one festival? Well, let me do the math with you. Usually each performing guest is about 800 to 900 Hong Kong dollars per show. I divide our average day spend, which is admission plus accommodation, airfare, etc., by the price of a show. In conclusion, I only need to see 3 to 4 shows and I can get my money back already. It's surely worth it. If we choose to walk in front of the show to see the show, which is VVIP seats, watching 1 to 2 shows a day is already paid off. It's really a great deal for many music fans. Over my experience, I've seen some Japanese sitting on the same stage from dawn till dusk, listening to every song, striving to listen all of the songs for the same stage. And I was stunned. It's really a good deal for them. Next, I will introduce Fuji Rock in different categories, including attractions, travel, food, and accommodation. At the end of the video, I'll tell you my personal feelings and some tips, so stay tuned. Guys, if I have to use one word to describe Fuji Rock, I would say it's a music buffet. Let's look at the official app of the Fuji Rock 2023. There are over 70 shows, with a total of 12 large and small stages. Music shows starts at 8:30 a.m. every morning and ends at 5 a.m. on the other day. So in 24 hours, we have only 3 hours without music at all. So according to my calculations, there are probably over 70 shows a day. Well, you might say, no way! Can we sleep at night? Well, I can assure you, and we'll explain later in the next section. Well, going back to discuss about music, there are 12 main stages, and the largest screen stage are mostly performed by the most well-known stars, while some smaller stages, such as the Naiba Canteen stage, will offer some chances for new bands, so you can enjoy the grandeur at the green stage, while you can enjoy the zero distance amongst the audience and the stars from the Naiba Canteen stage. You can easily feel the passion of the performers there. You can either sit quietly in a corner and enjoy listening to music yourself in solitude, or you can go crazy while lining up for the first row. No matter if it's heavy metal or acoustic, you will always find your favorite and acquaintances. If you want to know more about the lineup, you can pay attention to the link in the info box provided below. Besides music, there are 2 places I highly recommend, which is the Kids Land and the Palace of Wonder. I highly recommend these 2 areas for friends who like circuits engage in education work, or love upcycling. These places are perfect spots for photo taking as well. Look at the photos. Does it look like I've been to a carnival in the US? Sometimes the music during some performance sections may not be your favorite type. For instance, we love rock music and feel that the lineup in the morning in the third day is not very interested for us. So we plan for a sweet escape in the morning to ride the longest cable car in Japan, which is called the Dragon Dollar. The cable car is totally 5.5 kilometers long, and the journey takes 20 minutes already. It's quite a sweet escape for us because it's very cool up the mountain. But be aware, the cable car will not be open when the weather is bad, so seize the opportunity whenever it's opened. There are also many different activities like street performance or Japanese local dances, not to mention prize games, live painting, etc. If you are just going with a friend to support the festival and you are not so into music, I can assure you that you won't be bored to death. For those who love shopping, there are many on-demand products in the Fuji Rock campsite. Most of them are in discount, so it's very hard not to buy them. For instance, I bought a pair of pants which is waterproof by Q for around $150, but its original price was $480 when I saw it in Hong Kong. Another friend of mine uses around 3,000 yen, which is around $160, to buy a Tower Records Music Festival exclusive t-shirt, plus a free towel, and a waterproof bag. If you have enough holidays, I highly recommend you to join the Kickoff Festival at night before the official start. They have fireworks, different lucky draws, dances, and festival food. The admission is also free. I was so amazed. I really enjoyed the atmosphere there. I don't quite understand Japanese, and I haven't attended a Japanese festival before, but I think it's really worth it. Traveling to and from the venue has always been one of our most worrying things. Yet, it turned out to be surprisingly smooth. We set off from Ueno, Tokyo JR to Ichigo, Yuasa. We highly recommend you to buy tickets in advance. Then we took a taxi from Ichigo Yusawana to Naiba. It's around 500 Hong Kong dollars for 3 people, and we find it fine. Maybe because we arrived the day before the official day starts, we didn't wait for a long time. We only waited for 15 to 20 minutes to hook on a taxi. If you want to wait for the official shuttle, it's also possible, but you have to wait in Ichigo Yusawana until 12 noon, and there will be lots of people queuing and fighting for the best campsite spots, so be aware. We chose to buy the time of money, so we arrived 2 hours earlier than the official start time. We went earlier, we queued early to wait for the wristband, and to choose the best location for our campsite. A lot of Japanese has arrived already by the time we arrived. A Taiwanese friend told us they arrived at 9 a.m. in the morning. For our departure, it was unexpectedly smooth as well. We only waited for around 5 minutes to take the free shuttle from Naiba to Ichigo Yusawana, as we already bought the JR tickets earlier. We arrived at Ueno at around 12 noon. So, what about accommodation? Fuji Rock is held at Naiba Ski Resort. As it's located further away from the city, Fuji Rock had shows all day long. Most participants will also live near the festival venue. The following are my brief summary according to our observation and judgment. There are indeed different advantages and disadvantages for different accommodation options. In short, the Prince Naiba Hotel and the more reasonably priced Airbnbs are the most comfy ones. But you'll need to apply for a lucky draw in order to get the hotels or Airbnbs, on or before February every year. If you want to go for car camping, you also need to grab for seats and hunt for them in March every year. Note that for regular car park spaces, only 2 persons are allowed to stay in the car. It seems that for a camper van, at least one of the attendees need to have a Japanese ID card. If you do not have much luck like me, you can go for the cheapest option, which is camping. Or you can live in Airbnbs further from the campsite area, but you need a lot of traveling time. We eventually go for camping for two reasons. First, all the headliners perform quite late at night and end their show at around 10 p.m. So unless you have a car and a car park space, it's hard for you to leave the venue after watching the headliners, as the latest bus will leave at 9 p.m. Our second reason is that camping is really cheap. The campsite ticket is around 5,000 yen and we can stay for all the days. It's less than 300 Hong Kong dollars for 5 days, which is really cheap. So what about eating? Some of the agents has nicknamed Fuji Rock as the most delicious music festival in all time. In the following, I've made some statistics based on the official information. The distribution of food stores at different venues. Point to note, Fuji Rock's food types are different every year, and many menus are only available in Japanese, so get your Google Translate ready. Nonetheless, it's quite difficult with poor internet access sometimes. So in a lot of times, we order the food based on some photos. Compared to other music festivals, we found the food quite reasonable and really yummy. I mean, what could you ask for more if you can have an ice cream in the middle of the festival? My friend fell in love with the beer in Fuji Rock as they are much cheaper compared to other music festivals. I mean, it's about 80 Hong Kong dollars a cup, but in Fuji Rock, it's only 30 Hong Kong dollars a cup. In the last section, I would like to provide some tips regarding the cool and transport time. It's best if you plan for a day's schedule ahead, as you may need to cool for every activity you would like to do. For instance, we once finished watching a show at 12:20 p.m., but we wanted to have a lunch before our next show. It took around 15 minutes back and forth from the stage to the food stores, but we only have 45 minutes to cool and finish the lunch. Well, I ended up waiting in the line for 45 minutes buying food, as I was starving. Eventually, I lost the chance to watch a show. So, good time management is the key. For example, if you plan ahead to have lunch at 11 a.m., you almost do not need to cool. I highly recommend you to use the timetable app wisely. You can record every show you want to watch, and you can plan ahead your lunch and dinner time. The second tip is that no umbrella is allowed, and it's really easy to get a heat stroke. You may say, well, I like healthy skin color. It's not a problem for me. Yet I would like to give you a warm reminder that over these 5 days and 4 nights, especially the last 2 days, I've heard the ambulance several times a day and witnessed someone fainted in the middle of the show or escaped from a cliff. Even my friend who does not like hat or hat every day, so be reminded of your own health and drink enough water. My last tip is the toilet area. For friends who camp, you really need to master the area for clean toilets. For example, we found out that Area D's toilets are not so favorable due to the geographic locations, and the staff doesn't clean a lot in Area D compared to Areas A and B. Even my 2 male friends did not dare to go to the toilets after a few days. I remembered once when I had a stomachache during midnight and I needed to walk for 10 to 15 minutes in order to go to a clean toilet. It's been really painful for me. But I heard from some foreigners that toilets from the Fuji Rock festivals are already heaven compared to other music festivals in their countries. So if you are also camping, choose your spots wisely. I highly recommend areas A or B. Last but not least, it's electronic payment. To my surprise, many shops only accept electronic payments. We first thought opposite, so we bought a lot of cash. there was only 10,000 yen in my Suica. So by the third day, I had no money to use afterwards. And the convenience store did not provide any recharge service. So the only option is to go to the ATM area to queue for hours in order to recharge the card. So I highly recommend to top up your Suica or IC card before going to the Fuji Rock Festival. Due to the limit in length, I cannot discuss many details of Fuji Rock. All in all, we think that Fuji Rock is really worth a go and is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Thanks for watching and see you later!